Hello, and welcome to Session 6 of the Oblivion Oath. I am your Game Master and host, Jason Bulmahn, and before we get started here today, I've got a couple of notes for those of you watching us live here on Twitch. First of all, thank you for watching us live here on Twitch. We really do appreciate all the views and all of the folks chatting in the stream. We got a whole bunch of hero points that have been bought between this session, last session, and this session, which is really good considering some of the scheduling challenges we have coming up. Trust me, the players are about to really appreciate it. Speaking of that, I want to talk about our schedule over the next couple weeks. We've got PaizoCon coming up, but on top of that, we also have a UK Games Expo appearances and a little bit of vacation. So we have a little bit of a challenge, making sure that we're providing more episodes of this great show for all of you. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to record a number of episodes here in the coming days, and over the next few weeks, we're going to release those episodes live here during the normal time. The only thing that'll be a challenge is the game won't be running live, it'll just be playing live. So it's more like a premiere of a show. We will still make sure to have folks here chatting with all of you and interacting in the chat. We'll probably have some members of the team on each session just to make sure that all of you can laugh along with our folly and boo and hiss all of the terrible things that I'm sure are about to happen to all of these brave and noble heroes. So I want to talk about that schedule. Here's how this is going to work. Thursday, May 16th, we will be airing episode 7. That will be a pre-recorded episode. Thursday, May 23rd, is the Thursday right before PaizoCon. We will not have an episode or a broadcast at all that day. We will be at PaizoCon, though, doing an Oblivion Oath panel. We're hoping to get that recorded and put up in some way, shape, or form. Expect some details in the coming weeks.
And that's on Sunday?
The panel is on Sunday, the 26th of May. Yeah. Sunday evening. So for those of you at PaizoCon who want to check it out, make sure you're there. On Thursday, May 30th, we will be airing episode 8. This will be a pre-recorded episode. On the 6th of June, that's another Thursday, we're going to be doing an all-day marathon of all 8 episodes up to that point. We'll probably start earlier so that we don't run into our evening schedule. But if you missed any episodes or you want to watch them all sequentially, Thursday, June 6th, we're going to make a big deal of it, making a huge marathon day for getting everybody caught up and bringing new people into the fold. Then, Thursday, the 13th of June, is our final pre-recorded episode. That will be episode 9 on Thursday. And then we're back live on the 20th of June. So I know that was a lot to take in. It'll all make more sense as we go forward. We'll get a graphic up so that you all can make sure to keep tabs on that. But that's going to be our schedule up into June. Blame convention season. Happens to us every year. All right. So I've gotten all that out of the way. Before we get started here, we've got a number of hero points that have been purchased by our fantastic fans. First of all, there was one from a few weeks ago that I think we missed from Arthursdale, and that's for Sara Marie. So I'm going to go ahead and hand that over that way.
Yay.
And then just here before the show started, Steve Geddes bought a hero point for Sara Marie again, and one for Owen.
Woohoo!
So Sara Marie, you're all loaded up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you don't have to burn those to stabilize from dying, you've got plenty to work with. Now, Gabe, you've been without a hero point for a little while. It's really unfortunate, but don't worry about it. Cora Marie came through and bought you a hero point, I believe because Owen made a pun on Twitter.
Thank you for making the pun on Twitter.
Yeah, so this is like a hero point from vengeance or irritation.
It's my punishment.
Thank you.
Yes.
By the way, I only have one hero point, and if he continues to pun like that, feel free to just load this up. All right.
You only get 3.
Really? You're going to keep up with that? You're just going to double down on that right before we start?
More
Okay.
hero points for
All right.
me, hopefully.
So, when we last left our intrepid band of adventurers, the group was enjoying their time in Thronestep. After being on a barge that burned to the waterline and being washed ashore, receiving some strange key from a knight who crumbled to dust before your very eyes, and brought to a city filled with religious fanatics, you have now discovered that you're not only in a city filled with religious fanatics, it appears that you can't leave the city filled with religious fanatics.
You know, when I put it that way, It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it seems kind of unfortunate.
Spring break, am I right?
It's like spring break. It's just that you can't leave.
And it's not fun.
And it's not fun. Well, it depends on what district you're in. So the group of you have found yourselves in the steppes, the kind of lower district of Thronestep, the capital of Razmir.
Stones.
The stones, not the steps. Yeah, I always get that mixed up.
Steps and stones.
Steps and stones, yeah, of course. May break my bones. So you find yourselves... That was terrible. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody.
So you can get all of us hero points to punish him.
That's fair. It's fair. I really deserve that. All right, so moving on. You found yourselves in a neighborhood called the Sanctuary, and in a dilapidated flophouse called Razmir's Bounty. And there you quickly came to meet Durgan and Kret, two resident kind of thugs and hustle experts who have been trying to shake you down since the moment you arrived. You managed to kind of thwart them in your first encounter with them, but when Qundle was left alone, they came back with a vengeance, took him hostage, and demanded coin. In our last session, you fought them to the point of death before the Razmirian cultists, led by Herald of Razmir Vokar, burst in and broke up the fight, dragging away...
Hail Razmir.
That's right, all hail.
Peace and prosperity.
Yeah, that's right. Before dragging away these two thugs and leaving you to your own devices. However, you went back to your room to talk a bit to Severina, who was the bard from the boat who washed ashore and is here in the slums with you. You talked to her a bit about what happened to her and her experience. And as you were talking to her, you noticed that the door to your room was open, and there was a mysterious half-elven man there who told you that it was clear that you didn't really want to be here, and that he happened to represent an organization that might be able to help. He said he was a Pathfinder, and that he might be able to get you out of this city. And that's where we're going to pick up. We're going to pick up right where we left off. And we're going to keep moving there. So he's still standing in the doorway. Actually, he came inside. That's right. He stepped inside and closed the door behind him. He has handed you a scrap of parchment that shows a sewer grate within the city. You can kind of make out the district that you're in and the buildings they're in, and there's a sewer that's like, it's a couple blocks away from the inn. And as he puts that down on the table, he says, "Tomorrow night, we're going to be having a meeting." Yes.
Just a sec. Will you grab the other end of this table? Qundle's going to grab one end of the table and carry it over to the door that has no lock, no handle, no hinge, and put it up against the door because people keep walking in here.
That will help.
Okay, so he's standing there over the table, and you just moved the table away.
Yep.
For a minute there, I thought you were talking about the table we were playing on. I'm like, what do you?
Okay.
I know we gotta do a lot of streaming soon, but all right. I didn't know we needed to bar the door. He kind of looks at you and says, yes, a wise precaution. He's talking to you in a much lower voice than I am right now, just because he doesn't want anyone to hear. And he says, now, tomorrow night we are having a meeting of like-minded individuals who wish to see some change here. And perhaps if you merely want to escape, we have means of which we can get poor, restless souls out of this city. 2 hours after sunset, go through this grate. Down in the sewers, you will find marks that look not unlike a compass. Always follow north, and you will be led to the secret meeting place.
Isn't there a quarantine at night?
It is not without risk, but traveling into sewers during the day will surely get you seen. During the night, the streets are empty except for the patrols. Avoid them,
How do we
and you
know
are safe.
it's not a trap?
He looks at you and he goes, "This entire city is a trap, and you are already in it."
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Many traps.
Okay, just to clarify, we leave 2 hours after sunset to go to the meeting, or the meeting occurs 2 hours after sunset and we need to be there then?
There is not a formal roll call. If you arrive sometime about 2 hours after sunset, all will be well.
Okay, and how long should we plan to, like... What's the Google Map estimate on how long it's going to take us?
It's a few blocks away, so you're talking about 10 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
How is traffic?
All right, yeah.
Let me check traffic at that time of night. Well, it's under curfew, so there isn't a lot of wagons or ponies in the way.
It's just the patrols. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we have a 4-pony pileup on Razmir Way. Expect long delays.
I-5 will back up with no
that's
excuse
true.
whatsoever.
It'll back up into a fantasy world.
It totally will.
All right, so he says, we hope to see you there. We could always use more help.
Okay.
Very likely we will be there. Is there anything you can tell us about the establishment that we're in currently?
He looks, this place?
Yeah.
I've been here a few times, making sure. I kind of travel from place to place in the city. This place is where they take the poor and those that they do not believe have any coin. It is a place where you'll be squeezed. Squeezed until you break.
We did take care of 2 of the squeezers already.
Yes.
Are there more we should watch out for?
Everyone.
Okay. What about the...
By the way, I'm going to need 4 silver. No, I'm kidding.
What about the owner of the establishment? Like...
She honestly runs this place, but she also is in this to make a bit of coin. You see, the only way to get out of here is with enough coin to bribe your way out. That is the only way you will be allowed to leave. Of course, you could always join the faithful. And he kind of looks at all of you in the eyes.
Or you, right? Do we have to give you coin to leave?
If I demanded coin, I would be no better than the priests.
Okay, just checking.
He pulls out a compass that he has in his pocket, and he kind of flips it up and kind of looks at it a bit. Closes it. I must be on my way.
We'll move the table.
I feel like I'm doing most of the lifting, but sure.
I'll help on Qundle's side.
Yeah, well, I mean, Qundle.
Oh, thank you, the goblin, the halfling.
Yeah.
Thank
You guys look like you have it covered.
I'm a gnome.
Karina's just over there like,
I will see you tomorrow night.
Okay.
Be safe.
You too.
Probably.
you
Yep.
too.
We'll try.
He nods, puts his hood back up, and quickly he just kind of opens the door. You see him kind of look both ways and then just slide out, and he's gone.
What was his name?
His name was Selvit.
Selvit. Okay.
That's C-E-L-V-I-T.
I'm sure you had to spell it. Now to change my
Yeah,
notes.
that's right.
Okay, cool. Well, looks like we have some time in between now and 2 hours after sunset
The next day.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what do we want to do?
So it is getting into late afternoon here in the city. So you do not have much time if you want to go out and do any further reconnaissance or anything like that. You're kind of running out of time for that.
Sure.
So if that's not something you want to take care of, you can wander around the inn. You can get a good night's rest. I realize many of you are kind of tired and having spent a whole bunch of your resources.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of really sick and hurt people here. I know we were told not to bother them, but I kind of feel like I'm here. Might as well spread some of the Phrasman goodwill by healing some people up.
I am worried about that cough. Coughs are like fires. If you don't tend them, they spread.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to go find some people to heal?
I want to find who has that wet, terrible, ragged cough, just because I don't want to hear it anymore.
It just bothers me. That's fair. Sabrina looks at all of you.
Oh yeah,
because
she's still in the
yeah, that's right. She's still here.
She's like, hey.
She's like, do you trust him?
No.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, about as much as we trust anyone here. And I look at her.
She kind of looks at you. I just want to get out of here. This place seems horrible.
Well, if you'd like to pool resources with us, we're happy to do that.
if you'd have me, I'd be happy to come along.
Yeah, what can you contribute? What are your skills and talents?
Well, I was trained in a small bardic college in Vigil.
Okay.
So I'm skilled at the flute, and I'm skilled at the bardic arts.
Which bardic college in Vigil were you trained at?
She mentions it. There is a bardic college in Vigil.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have it off the top of my head. It's in my
fine.
notes here
That's
somewhere.
Fine. I just want to make sure, like, whatever tale she's spinning about the city that Carina is from makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
No, there's not much of a bardic presence in Vigil, but there is some.
Okay. It sounds like it could be real.
Focusing on dirges, another sad song.
Well, actually, so funny enough, it's actually an adjunct to the military college because it's people playing drums and bugles and stuff like that and inspiring the armies. So they do have a bardic presence, but it's actually an adjunct to the military.
Okay.
Bard University.
She's like, I didn't end up staying, but I'll be happy to lend my talents to help all of you. I can lift your spirits with the best of them.
Okay.
Kind of shrugs and smiles.
I like the flute. I think you played very beautifully.
Well, good. It's actually the only instrument I know. So.
Do elves normally come back from the dead as ghouls when you play your flute?
What?
Well, that's what happened on the boat. You played your flute, and then all the dead elves became ghouls.
She kind of clutches her flute, and she looks, this is my mother's flute.
Oh, so did your mother turn elves into ghouls?
Not that I'm aware of.
Correlation does not equal causation.
What?
She kind of looks at you funny. Do you think that happened?
Do you?
What? I don't think so. It's never happened before.
It seems like the sort of thing that one would strongly deny if you didn't have any reason to think it was possible.
Well, of course, but
Can you detect magic?
I can.
You can.
Yeah. Can I detect magic?
Sure. So the way that works is basically you let out, you cast detect magic, and it basically sends out a pulse, kind of like a ping.
Right.
Right. And you can exclude all the magic you know is already in the group.
Right.
In this case, there isn't much. There's
Tattoos.
the key
Right.
and the tattoos, but you can exclude those, and you can kind of wash over her with a pulse, and it'll just ping. It won't tell you if anything in particular is magical.
Okay.
It doesn't let you identify what on her is magical.
Yeah.
So if there is a magical aura, it won't tell you, oh, it's the flute versus she's got a potion in her pocket.
Right. Okay.
TSA her.
You could always set the flute on the table and.
You can kind of do some process elimination stuff, and she'll agree to that. So she
Okay.
puts the flute on the table and backs away from it. And you ping, and you get an aura off her, but nothing off the flute.
Okay. Flute's good. She might have magic, but we all also have magic, so.
And she's a bard,
She's a
so
bard.
that makes sense.
She kind of chuckles. I guess we're inherently magical, but I'm sure what you're actually detecting is my ring and this potion I have.
Sorry, we're not sure who to trust here, because we've already seen some really scary stuff in the short time we've been here, and you've only been awake for so long.
Well, I don't. You have good reason to be afraid of this place. Everyone here seems terrifying, and those thugs tried to rob us.
They did. They tried to beat up Qundle.
They did beat up Qundle.
They beat up all of us. They beat up Carina really
they
bad.
hit all of us.
But
It's okay.
as long
I am
as
used to it.
you seem to be on our side, and you clearly went through the boat crash, and the fire and everything too. So we'll help you as much as we can.
Just so you know, timeline-wise, she did play her dirge, because I know you guys are questioning that incident in particular. She did play that, and then it was like 6 hours before the undead rose. So it wasn't like she played it, and all of a sudden everybody was like, time for sleep, undead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then you got to figure the undead have to figure out how to get out of the coffins and stuff. So
They also have to depend on Google Maps. Right?
Yeah, no, those crates are as thin as the crypts in Winterfell. All right, spoilers. All right, so anyway, that was a cheap joke. I couldn't resist myself.
That's
I'm
it,
sorry.
you're canceled.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's it.
That's Jason Bulmahn, care of.
Yeah, no, it's fine. All right,
we
so
can still get more hero points.
it'll all be great. All right, so
we're going to go around healing people.
I
okay.
specifically want to find the person with that wet cough. That worries me.
So they're going to go around and kind of explore some of the folks. Are the two of you staying here? Are you accompanying them? What's Mikah and Zell doing?
What time of day is it?
It's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's you've probably got about an hour before dusk and curfew.
I'm gonna go just kind of scout our path to this thing, just so I can get a lay of the land before the night, since curfew hasn't started.
I was gonna say we should make sure we know how to get there.
Yeah.
We should definitely split the party. Yes, let's do it.
Strategy.
So the points are flying fast and furious today. Our very own Mark Moreland bought a point for Zell. I'm wagering this is, he sits next to you in the office, so he's trying to bribe you.
Mark.
Yeah. Bribe you or apologize for something. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's between the two.
Probably some horrible email
next to
waiting
Mark,
for me.
you've earned a hero point.
No, that's fair. Yeah, no, it's fine. All right.
I know he likes puns, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Check my email now.
he's buying a hero point because he's really late on a project. Does that work? Because I'm getting close to buying a hero point. All right. Okay. So, Mikah, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go with Zell.
Oh, you're going to go with
to
Zell.
scout out
All right.
the way.
All right. So, let's start with the two of you scouting out first.
Is the bard going to go with somebody, or is she going to chill in the room?
Should probably stay with you guys.
Actually, when you say that you're going to go around and help some folks, she's like, I have a limited way that I can soothe people and help their wounds, and I'd be happy to help in what way that I can. So she's going to go with the two of you.
Awesome.
Before we leave, I want to say, can you please check on the gnome that has been wandering around?
That was forefront of my mind.
I'm really worried about him, and I don't know what's going on. So.
All right. So the two of you make your way out into the city streets, and
Bestie patrol.
Woo!
That's right, down in Sanctuary.
Everything will be fine.
And it's about an hour before sunset, so most of the merchants and whatnot are starting to pack up and get ready to get inside before curfew. So the streets are starting to empty out already. And the walk over there is relatively quiet and peaceful. You got merchants packing up. They're not really hawking goods anymore. There's a couple priests here and there, peace and prosperity to you as you walk past. But otherwise, they mostly leave you be. And soon enough, you find yourself in the little square where the sewer grate is. It's kind of right in the middle of the square, so it's not exactly hidden. But you also haven't seen very many sewer grates around here, so it's not like they picked this one badly on purpose. It's just there aren't very many. So the upside is this isn't right in the middle of one of the main streets. It is on one of the side streets. And there's some businesses around it, but they're all closing up shop and stuff. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do?
Is there like a business that we could buy like a little bit of food from?
Yeah.
Just to make it look like that's why we came.
Yeah, sure. There's a place that sells like meat kebabs.
Okay, yeah.
And they've got a few left on the roaster that are pretty charred and dried out. But I mean, to you, I don't know. Do you eat raw food or do you eat cooked food as a lizard folk?
Cooked is preferred, but
yeah,
I've got to rough it.
No, that's fair.
Perfect for anyone coming from Razmir's bounty.
Yeah, no, it's fair. So you make your way up, and there's a halfling woman there who's she's like, I ain't cooking any more today. I got these two though. They're lamb.
Lamb. I will have both of those, please.
3 copper.
3 cop. That's
the mental calculation she made.
Yeah.
How charred is that? What can I claim this meat is?
I'll hand over the 3 copper.
All right. Yeah.
And I'll take a bite and be like, no matter how it tastes, and be like, very good, and give her a wink. Be like, you are most skilled.
Do you want some of the living god's seasonings? She's got this can.
Wow.
Try new Living God seasoning.
I'll try it if you're sure.
It's heaven on earth.
Yeah, let God take what you can get down here. Sure, we'll try some of the Living God's seasoning.
That'll be a copper.
I'll give her a copper.
All right.
Tasty.
She turns the can over, and this kind of rust-colored powder comes out, and she just kind of very liberally dashes it all over it, and she goes, "It's prosperity for your mouth."
I wish you hadn't said that.
I kind of would prefer
all
peace
do.
for my mouth.
It's not that. And she's closing up shop.
It's not
All right,
peace for your
We'll
stomach.
enjoy our prosperity-infused lamb.
Okay.
How is it?
So, well, you're not sure what it is. It's very earthy. It tastes vaguely of like cumin and paprika, but it's really salty, like shockingly salty. And by the time you're done, like with just a few bites, you're really thirsty.
Oh my gosh.
Let me guess. Does she sell drinks for several copper?
She does have a keg behind her. That with some mugs, and she's currently kind of packing up the grill and stuff.
How much for some water to help with all this prosperity in my mouth?
Ah, you wish some peace to go with your prosperity.
Oh, mastermind of commerce.
Well, we got weak ale, ain't got no water. Water's not safe.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have 2 mugs of weak ale, please. Of peace.
Well, they're a copper apiece.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Do you want me to?
I got it. This is all my terrible idea.
All right, so you get 2 mugs each.
You do not want to establish that you pay for your own terrible ideas. That's, do not set that precedent.
That is how this game works. All right, so you both get some weak ale, and mind you, this ale is not good. It is thin, and it has like, bits of spent grain are still in it. Like they didn't strain it particularly well after they cooked up the oats. So it's a little chewy, is what I'm saying, and it's not great. But you know what it does do? Get rid of the taste of Razmir's special seasoning.
I feel like this is an endless cycle she has us locked in.
Would you like some meat to get rid of the ale taste?
I feel as trapped as I do in this place here now. Well, thank you, and, we should probably head back now.
Thank you for the delicious food and ale.
Come back anytime.
It's finger licking adequate.
Yeah.
That may be a bit of a push. All right.
Technically edible.
Chewiest ale I've ever had.
Doesn't use the poison rules.
Yeah. Well, you haven't had to make a fort save yet, but some of these things have a longer onset.
Oh.
All right.
Can we do like perception around the square, just to like take note of anything we might want to keep in mind when we're trying to sneak here in the dead of night?
What is both of your perception bonuses? This is a secret roll. I'm going to make
3.
this for you.
6.
Whoa.
Okay. The two of you take a look around, and you don't notice anything remarkable at all. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty ordinary street intersection. There's a number of businesses around it. There's actually the one kebab business on one side. The shop across from it looks like it sells like horseshoes and like basic bits and bridle and stuff like that.
Okay.
The 2 buildings on the opposite side of that are just residences, one of which looks entirely abandoned and is closed up.
Okay.
That's all you really learn, though. There's nothing unusual about any of it.
Okay.
So you're making your way back. Zell,
Yes.
you don't feel too good.
Oh no.
Oh, I ain't feeling so hot.
Give me a fortitude save.
He wasn't joking about the fortitude saves. I thought he was.
Not so hot. With a 10?
You're fine.
Oh, I'm really feeling that prosperity.
The piece didn't help.
No, I think the piece made it worse.
So, take 7 points of damage. This doesn't happen all at once, by the way. As you're walking back, you start feeling worse and worse. You feel really kind of just there. It's really strange because it's not. Your mind immediately goes to, oh my god, how bad was that?
Yeah, but now it seems.
But in fact, you're really hungry.
Huh.
Oh no.
Like you get back and you're famished. So in addition to so you take the 7 points of damage and you're really hungry. Specifically for meat.
Huh.
No.
We should go see Qundle. He's good with the medicine.
All right, let me go to the other two of you. So the two of you are wandering about. And the first person it seems like you're trying to find is whoever has this cough.
That's my goal, yeah.
Okay. You make your way to one of the back rooms of the place. And there's a handful of characters wandering about this place. But in one of the back rooms, you finally catch wind of the cough. And it doesn't quite sound as bad as it did when you first arrived, but you don't know if it comes and goes. And in the back room, there is a human woman just kind of bundled up in a blanket, and she just kind of coughs. And you can see that the blanket isn't really a blanket. It actually looks like a cloak with like stars and moons around the hem. And she's just kind of huddled up there and coughing heavily.
Pardon me, madam. Would you care for some healing of magic?
She kind of looks at you.
Divine magic.
I don't have any coin. You already took it all.
Well, actually, I provide services from my goddess for free.
She looks at you. Your goddess.
Yes, Razmir.
She looks at you. Shh, don't say that out loud. I talked to them about my goddess, about Desna, and they took my holy symbol.
Oh, well, that's not good. Well, I haven't really shared with them things about my goddess. I've just asked them questions about theirs, and maybe that's the trick to it. Anyway, would you like some free healing?
She kind of looks really nervous, like just kind of like she's kind of looking furtively around.
We're stuck in this building. If your cough spreads, we'll get sick. It's in our best interest for you not to be sick.
Give me a diplomacy check.
19.
Qundle eyes.
She says, The name is Karma. I am a priestess of Desna.
Karma. All right, Karma. 6 points. Back to you.
You cast a healing spell on her. Is this your lay on hands?
Just my lay on hands. It's not really like a spell. It's
Her
just,
cough subsides a little bit, but she clearly has a disease, right? I mean, she's not doing well.
I'm not
She's
so good
like,
with those.
I am. You need a nice cleansing pickle juice.
Pickle cleanse.
do you think that will help?
I'm not worried about the cough that will carry you off. I'm worried about the coffin they may carry you off in.
She looks horrified by that.
Carina breaks out into laugh.
Trust me. I'm small and weak. If I couldn't heal myself, I'd be dead by now.
Very well.
Okay.
If you think there's something you can do to help.
I do.
All right.
I
So
recommend you hold your nose.
you can use medicine to treat disease.
Okay.
It takes a bit of
Okay.
time. But go ahead and give me a medicine check. This is against the DC of her illness, which you don't know.
22.
A 22 is very good. All right. I believe what that does is that it gives her a bonus on her next saving throw. So you give her some unguents, you like steam some pickle juice and let her inhale the vapors, and she's like, "Is that dill?" She
Bread and butter.
her cough subsides a bit, and she says, "Thank you very much. No one here seems to be able to help, and they all seem to want money, and I don't have any. They've already taken it all."
It's terrible here. I'm sorry.
May Desna's blessing be upon you. Thank you. You're the only person here who's shown me any kindness at all.
I'll check on you in the morning and see if you're better.
Thank you. And she's got like a bowl of weak broth nearby because that's probably all she can eat.
It's all she can eat.
Yeah, she if you offer her anything, she's like, I can't hold down anything else.
Let's boil this, though.
All right.
I don't trust the broth they give her.
Here, have some lukewarm bathwater.
It's lamb.
Yeah.
This is human broth. This is just bathtub water.
One of the things that Qundle has noticed is that non-goblin species tend to get sick when they eat things that are too old or too smelly or too nearly rotten.
It does make you wonder how they've managed to spread so far and wide with that sort of weak constitution.
But
yeah, that's it. They can reach healthier food, clearly. All right. Okay. She goes back to sipping her broth and tries to nap. You continue wandering about. You do run into the gnome who's just kind of wandering the halls, pulling out his hair. He kind of just makes his way past you, and he's like, yeah, all hail Razmir.
Can we be of any assistance?
I don't know. Can you? You look interesting. What do you have that's interesting? Maybe you have something interesting I could look at or I could read. Do you have some poetry? How about some poetry? Do you have any books?
Does healing work for what ails you?
No. What do you mean what ails me? And he sees a white hair and he just yanks it out and he's like, ah!
How long have you been stuck here?
I don't know. A month? 2 months? A year? No more than a year. Probably not a year. Maybe a year. I don't know anymore.
This doesn't seem like a healthy environment for you.
I had to sell my books. I need the books. The stories and the books. I don't have them anymore. But the merchant does, but he won't give them back because I don't have any money.
What kind of books were they?
Storybooks. I like stories. It's a thing that I really enjoy. I like stories. I read stories a lot, and I like to tell stories, and I like to read stories.
Like a bard?
Well, no. I mean, I personally just like them. I don't, if you like them, that's good for you. But I like them. I need them. They're interesting to me.
Sabrina, can you tell him a story?
She's like, I know many a tale. Perhaps I could help. And she launches into a tale of Old Lastwall. And he kind of, the moment her tale begins, he just kind of stops. And he stops fidgeting and he just stares. And that goes on. Like, when she's done, he just kind of stares. He's like, do you know any more? I like stories a lot.
Does this seem like it might be a gnome thing that maybe Mikah would know more about?
Mikah would undoubtedly know more about this.
What is the skill check to know anything about this?
This would be a society check.
Okay, I can try to make one of those.
I might also allow a medicine check and a higher DC.
Okay, I'll try medicine. You can try society.
No, I think medicine's much better for me, so...
Natural 20, 24.
Ooh.
Well, that's pretty good.
All right, 10 medicine check.
All right. You're not sure, but you have a pretty good idea. This gnome is undergoing the bleaching. The gnomes need sparks of creativity in their life, and when they don't have it, they start losing the color. Their connection to the first world, which is where they originally hail from millennia ago. And they start losing that, and as they do, their hair goes white, and they get nervous, and they become morose, and this gnome is clearly in the middle of that, and it is not good.
I used to live near Kermaga, and you'd see this sometimes on gnomes going to Kermaga desperately to get, weirded out by the stuff in Kermaga, because nothing else would keep their interest anymore. So he's being bored to death.
Is there anything we can do long term, like after we leave, to help him?
If he stays here, he's going to turn into a
Bleachling.
Yeah. And he can survive that, but it's not
going to be good.
It's a loss of kind of identity and connection to yourself. It's a dissociative process that most gnomes do everything they can to avoid.
Sure.
In this case, he just, his thing, like most gnomes have a thing that keeps them interested and engaged, and that's their passion. It's the thing they pay a lot of attention to. And for him, it's apparently books and stories and stuff.
So Carina, during the break of one of Sabrina's stories, will ask the gnome if he just like to read stories or if he was interested in writing stories as well.
No. Well, I tried to write some of my own, and you know that helped a little, but it wasn't quite enough. But I had a whole series of books on the histories of Avestan, and they're gone. They're gone. I had to sell them because I didn't have any money for food.
How much did you sell them for?
It's 4 silver. 4 silver, but now they want 8. I tried to get 4, and when I had 4, then they cost 8, and now I can't afford them anymore.
Which merchant has them?
He's like the bookseller on the other side of the market square. He takes all those sorts of things.
This is so sad. Karina feels really bad about this poor little gnome. So we could maybe try to help out and get your books back for you, but they're already closed for this evening. Maybe tomorrow morning.
He's staring at Sabrina, going, "Do you have another story?" And she looks at you and goes, "I'll try to keep him at ease."
Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you.
All right, so you all arrive back at your room. Not quite at the same time. Zell and Mikah, you two actually arrive back first because Qundle and Carina end up with the gnome for about an hour. It's now past curfew, and you're all back together.
I'll let Mikah know what's going on with the gnome.
All right.
Qundle, I'm very sick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I have a weird desire to just eat meat.
Let me ask you a really important question. Would you rather that meat be well cooked, raw, or still running around trying to get away from you?
I don't think I care.
Right now, it's just about meat. Meat.
I would like to examine my friend that I saw get bitten by a ghoul.
Oh, that's interesting. Why don't you go ahead and make me a medicine check?
I did have this really bad lamb, but it seems a little extreme.
But I'm okay.
18.
True.
It's a little hard to tell.
Yeah.
But it's quite possible that he's got some sort of ailment from the ghoul bite.
And how do we
And
fix
as a
that?
matter of fact, looking at the spot where he was bit, despite the fact that the wound itself has been healed, there's an odd kind of mottled purple discoloration right there.
Through the scales.
Likely, yeah. That's
It's magic.
Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, it's the scales themselves that have a weird coloration.
Oh,
that's not
weird.
good.
likely horrifying, everyone. Qundle will give it a good lick to see if it tastes different from the rest of it.
Oh, good
not
God.
just one lick,
all
that's
right,
like
so
multiple.
Well, it's one lick, but you start at one end and you drag your tongue slowly across the entire
goblin
area while
medicine,
sucking.
Mr. Owl.
I mean, there's no hair.
Right.
Instead of the
Like,
Hippocratic
that's the
oath, you have the
gross part?
hyper disgusting oath. All right, you lick across Zell, and yeah, no, there's something a little funky.
Soft skins.
You're going bad.
Oh, no.
You're going bad. It's unfortunate.
Are you
You've
going
gone
to pickle
bad.
him?
Well, yeah, we'll pickle. Is there anything we can do?
Pickles are magic. But pickle magic can't stop dead magic.
Oh, no.
If he was just dead and rotting, we could pickle him and keep him preserved, but I can't pickle a living person without making them a not living person, and that's happening on its own right now.
Yeah, I can fix the damage that's been done, but I can't stop more damage from happening.
Can we give him a bonus to his own system's ability to resist?
You can do the same thing you just did for for karma, and you can treat disease and try and give him a bonus on his next save. But that probably won't be. Diseases move slow.
Yeah.
Some of them move very fast, but most diseases
has already been
move
a few
pretty
days
slow.
since
So it's usually like once a day you have to check and see if it progresses. So go ahead and make me a medicine check.
And you lost 7 hit points, right?
Yeah.
So I can pray
10.
to Pharasma over
10.
you for 10 minutes, and you can get 6 of those back.
Ooh.
All right. So she prays to Pharasma, gets her lay on hands back, uses it on you, but instead of getting 6 back, you only get 3.
I feel slightly better, but not as better as I anticipated.
So I don't want to belabor the point because you guys are. It's the evening and you
Sure.
can spend more time to heal him up. But your healing, all of your healing efforts on Zell are about half as effective as normal.
Does that include mundane medicine
It
checks?
includes everything.
Yeah.
Can I do a medicine check to try and figure out more about what's going on? Like, just to try and understand how we can heal him?
Go ahead. This is a knowledge check using medicine.
okay.
With most skills, you can now use them to seek knowledge
Okay.
in their area of expertise.
Sure. Okay. So Karina's,
You could also
quietly-
try a religion check.
I was just gonna say she's gonna try and talk to Pharasma and beg her to help her understand what's going wrong with her new friend Zell.
Because the ghoul is undead, religion also covers things about it. So if you'd like, you can make a religion check instead of a medicine check.
Well, they're both the same bonus for Karina, so let's go with religion. That seems more characteristic. That's going to be a 23.
A 23. All right, so you have heard of this. He has a disease called ghoul fever.
Okay.
It is terminal, but it takes a while to get there. And plenty of people don't die from it. But if it goes unchecked for too long, those who die from it do rise as ghouls.
Okay.
So it is dangerous, and as it progresses, he will eventually not be able to benefit from any healing at all.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I like all news is equal.
Okay, so the good news is we can maybe heal you from this. The bad news is that if we don't, you're gonna die and turn into a ghoul.
Oh, let's try the first route.
I agree. That sounds like an excellent plan.
So the way diseases work in the game, by the way, it goes in stages. So I'm not going to tell you what stage he's on, but he is on a stage. Successes move you down in stages. Failures move you up in stages. If you ever go down to stage 0, you're cured. If you ever end up all the way at the end, bad things happen.
Yeah.
So that's that. You guys are able to rest after that. We'll keep things moving. It's now the next day. Everybody gets back their spells and abilities and whatnot. I'm assuming they spend the time to medicine and heal you up the night before. So you're fine for now. But sometime during this day, you're going to have to make another save against this disease.
Is there someone in the stones that we could try to seek out who can cure diseases?
Well, you can go talk to the priest of Razmir.
Huh.
that wasn't decided. Ha. Yeah.
They're going to charge
Great.
This is... Let's be
I'm gonna
honest
die.
here. This is pretty serious.
Yeah.
And Razmir probably doesn't want ghoul fever running around in his city.
No, so to make sure they don't get it, they'll just chop his head off and throw him on a pyre.
If we can't afford the healing, they might just kill me.
Ooh.
Hey, Dan. Is that hero point now?
Yeah, that just...
Okay. All right. We got another hero point for Zell, who clearly is going to need him.
Need it.
This one's from Authorsdale. Here you go, Zell. You're probably going to need that. Remember, 1 hero point can be used to re-roll any d20 rolls, like a saving
fortitude
throw.
save.
Yeah, just tossing out ideas here. You guys do what you want to do. I thought it was the lamb. That's okay. I had the lasagna. All right, now. Airplane jokes
special.
always welcome here. All right,
Spaceballs.
It's the next morning. You're all able to rest and recuperate. The woman with the cough seems better this morning. You don't hear it as often anymore. And when you go check on her, she does seem to be improving.
Well,
Okay.
we're always better off if we can get positive karma.
That is
Ah.
fair. Yeah.
Zell gets another hero point.
Zell's going to go with Qundle, if it's just Qundle going to check. And Zell's going to be like, of all the people here, if I die, burn my body, please. Send me up to the sky.
You got it.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. So it's the next day. Do you have any preparations or things you want to do before curfew hits? Is there anything you guys want to take care of? There's not a ton of time.
I want to go get the gnomes.
Oh, you want to go buy the gnomes books?
Yeah.
All right. You make your way to the merchant and are able to find the books that were referenced without too much trouble. He has them there. They are listed for 1 gold piece.
I'll buy it.
Do we want to try to negotiate? I mean, if we could get it for cheaper, wouldn't hurt.
How does one negotiate to try and get something for cheaper?
Generally speaking, that's going to be a diplomacy check. If you want to try it.
I can do that.
Well, you're
It's
checking
a
on
shrewd
karma.
merchant.
Yeah,
By the way, the merchant is a priest of Razmir.
Of course.
Yeah, no. I'm
Oh,
probably not
hail,
there, you're right.
friends! We have many things here for to delight and entertain.
Peace and prosperity back to you, sir.
This almost looks, now that you're here, by the way, it looks kind of like a pawn shop.
Yeah, of course. We're interested in these fine books here, if you're interested in selling them.
He says, you've come for the books, the collected tales of Avestan, a fine series of tales. For this collection of books, I only ask for the sum of one crown, one golden crown.
Okay, that's a little expensive, I'll be honest. That's a kind of a stretch for us. Is there any way that we could get it for maybe half a crown?
You want to try that diplomacy check?
Sure. All right. Whoop, oh shit. Shoot.
When you fail a roll, you fail the roll.
That was a...
Yep.
Not good. It was a 5.
A 5. He looks at you and he goes, "No, I'm afraid they're far too valuable to me. Old family possession. So a crown is the sum I need."
I rolled a 12.
Yeah, he's not buying it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'll give him a gold.
All right. So you pay him a gold. He's got a wide variety
Yeah.
of.
Do you have like a pad of paper or a blank book as well?
He says, "I do have some. I do have an artist's sketchbook.
That'll work.
But paper of that quality is very
It
expensive.
doesn't need to be quality though.
No, it's the only one I have.
Well, I don't really need something high quality, so I'm not going to lay out a lot of money for that. So the price.
Unfortunate then. Yeah.
So I had writing.
It's like 5 silver.
I had writing supplies and extra ink and paper. Did those all?
Well, the paper's
go down
ruined.
With the
The paper's ruined, but the writing supplies are fine.
Okay.
So,
So
he'll sell you that. That's for the book and the art supplies. But if you don't mind parting with the writing supplies, you can get the book for just 3 silver.
Well, that was just like a bonus idea, so I don't really need
All right.
it.
Well, you get the books and you bring them back, and he just weeps the moment you hand him the books. He just breaks down and starts crying and just holds them tight, and he just thanks you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank
Now
you.
here's the thing. You can't sell these again because that's not a good way to go about this. If you need coin, you could try like reading them out loud to a crowd of people in the inn here and see if they can give you some money. Like a bard, but you don't have to, try, just practice.
He says, I'll try.
That way you don't have to part with your books
Just
again.
kind of hugging the books.
Monetize what you love.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that works out well. All
Then
right.
you'll work every day of your life.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
if you need someone to tell you stories or anything, I love performing. I came from the circus, so I can do all sorts of tricks and stuff. Just let me know.
The circus.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and he goes, "I believe I saw a circus filled with our kind. Where was it?"
I don't remember.
It's many years ago.
Do you remember what any of them were named?
No, it was too long ago.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was there a long time ago, but I don't know where it was. It traveled everywhere.
He just kind of shrugs and goes back to his books. The inn today, after you kind of deal with that, the rest of the inn ends up kind of a buzz, and people seem really nervous.
Can we do like a...
Yes, peace
Check.
and prosperity, friends. What's going on?
Well, Bracken comes by
Bracken.
with breakfast. I guess this is more like brunch. They don't really do breakfast here. Brunch. That makes
Yeah.
it sound like there's like scones and coffee.
Cantaloupe.
No, it's a bowl of
Bracken,
old stew.
Can I get my mimosa, please?
Yeah, no, there is no mimosa. No, it doesn't look like Bracken's seen an orange in about a decade. No, but Bracken comes by and he comes in and he hands out your stew and he just very quietly says, "They're doing a crackdown on weapons
When?
today.
Huh. I have a bunch of weapons. What does that mean?
Confiscating them. They say the lawlessness here has gotten out of control. Vokar's going around confiscating weapons and armor."
Oh. We have weapons and I have armor and I don't want to lose them. Do you have any suggestions on how to avoid this crackdown?
He looks at you and just goes, "Good luck." And he kind of...
Should we just be gone for the day? I don't know how long they're gonna be here.
I think we could just hide the weapons, right?
Yeah, where?
It doesn't seem like it. Behind the lush drapery.
Yeah. I have. It's a dwarven war axe and a full set of armor.
When you want to hide a tree, you put it in a forest. What if I sneak into one of the warehouses, one of the stores here, and put our weapons in there? And then later, get them tonight.
So your plan is to skip the whole getting them confiscated and just give them our weapons.
And then get them back.
That is a very important part of the plan.
That's a critical part of the plan.
I want to go see the lady who runs this place.
Oh, Morin?
Yeah.
And she's up at the front desk.
Morin?
The front desk. Yeah, what can I help you with? Just kind of filling out notes.
If I wanted to avoid having my spear confiscated because I'm little and if I don't have it, people might beat me up, would you be able to, for a finder's fee, help me locate a place I could put it where the priests won't bother it?
Disobey the priests? I would never.
No, not disobey them, because they're not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you if I can put it someplace. They're not going to ask you, did you hide any weapons anyplace? You don't even have to hide it. I'll hide it. And they certainly won't ask you, did you tell the goblin where he could put a spear? So you don't have to disobey them at all. And then, you know I have a coin. I gave you one when I got here.
She kind of looks at you squinty-eyed.
Plausible deniability.
How much?
How big a space can we shove our weapons in?
There's an attic.
Is it?
What's an attic run?
Got a gold?
If I had a gold, would I be here?
Yes.
Do
Yeah, 2 gold, maybe not.
Do they come by and check the attic when they confiscate weapons? Is that a thing?
She shrugs.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If we have our weapons and there's a fracas going on in your hostel here, we can help with that and keep it from damaging your building further. If we don't have our weapons, we cannot help with that, and your inn might here get damaged if people like what's their names? Kret and Durgan come back. Or
Kret and Durgan aren't here to keep other people from making trouble anymore.
Those troublemakers.
Tell you what, how about we give you a copper and you just don't blab where we put our stuff?
Silver.
Copper now, and we'll give you a silver if they don't confiscate them.
Ooh.
Using my thinking head.
Diplomacy.
Deal.
Sweet.
So she leads you up to an attic crawl space that is hidden. She goes and there's like an old there's like an old chest that sits in front of it, so you can't even really tell that there's a crawlway there. And she goes, you can stash your stuff back there. The priests never check back there.
Okay, so we've taken care of that. What do we tell the priests when they come by? Because they know we have weapons and
We had
armor.
to sell them for money.
All right. I don't think I can
Or they
lie
were
that
stolen
well.
from us.
So
Do you have a weapon on you don't need, like a dagger?
I mean, we just laid out a bunch of extra cash
I
to
know.
get this stuff.
But do
You know-
you?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sling.
There's an abandoned building, too, I saw, that we could have stashed probably our weapons in.
They'll check abandoned buildings.
But it's
So you don't need the sling?
I mean, need?
I'm trying to make sure that your axe doesn't go away.
Yeah, I
can
guess I
lie.
could.
Okay. give
Yeah,
me your sling.
we're pretty good at lying.
Yeah, but
Alright.
she's not. Give me your sling.
Yeah, I'm not actually that great.
So
at
you guys are
lying,
back in the room figuring this out when you can hear in the room next door, peace and prosperity. Oh, I'm afraid we're going to have to take that. There's a fair spate of lawlessness here. Yes, I know you use it to eat. I'm sorry. We'll give it back when the lawlessness has been taken care of. And a moment later, your door, it's probably just a knife.
I was going to say a fork.
Yeah, he's confiscating forks. It looks
Or
like you're on
this
an
guy's eating
airline
with, like, a
now.
sword.
Before he
mace.
comes in, Qundle's going to turn to Zell and say, but it was my spear, and you ate all the money you got from it, and now I don't have anything. We've just got this sling left, and if people come back, how are we going to defend ourselves? The priests aren't here all the time.
The door
That
opens
was
up.
my spear. You should have given me some of the money.
The door opens up, and Vokar is there. And he's like, hail, friends, and well met.
Oh, Vokar, thank goodness.
I am glad to see that you are rested and recuperated from your trials. I'm afraid I have some unfortunate news. due to the lawlessness that has been going on in the district, we have had to confiscate weapons and armor so that the priests might more effectively police the people and
That
keep
makes
you
sense.
safe. Yes. So I'm afraid, only temporarily, we must confiscate any weapons or armor that you might have.
We don't have anything left but the sling, because Longtooth over here sold it all so that he could eat lamb meat.
Did you say lamb meat? He says. He kind of nods for a moment. Oh, yes. He kind of looks and he's just looking. None of you have any armor. You've stashed all of your armor,
Except
all
the
your
sling.
weapons. Yeah.
Armor lost.
And he
yeah.
takes the sling and he's like, very well. We shall make sure to return this to you when the lawlessness comes to a close.
Do we get like a coat check ticket?
There's another priest there with him with a book.
Okay.
And he writes down one sling, and whose sling is it? Yes. And the priest goes, what name should I put down?
That would be, and thanks for a second, Serena Crisper Sane.
Yeah, Serena. All right. He finishes writing that down, and the two of them leave the room. And you can't help but notice that acolyte who was writing down, his voice kind of sounded familiar. And that is where I'm ending today's session. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a good time watching Session 6 of Oblivion Oath. Remember, for the next few weeks, we're going to be airing some pre-recorded episodes. We hope you come by and check those out. We'll be in chat, interacting with all of you. So until next time, from all of us at Oblivion Oath, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, folks.